Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Adam Townsend, you are fighting on the Valor Fight card, which is at the end of April the 29th, I believe. You're fighting Steven Mann. Now, you won your last fight. You finished the guy with a nice little. You got yourself a TKO. That fight itself, looking back at it, how do you feel your performance went? How do you feel he performed? You know, maybe did he surprise you with certain aspects of his game? How do you feel the overall fight itself went?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I fought well. I feel like I fought smart more than anything. I didn't know a lot about the guy. I didn't watch any video on him. He took the fight on a week's notice, so it's kind of in the dark, and there wasn't a lot of there's only like one or two videos on him from a while back. So I just had to go out there and play it smart. And I worked on my wrestling a lot that whole camp. And then it got changed to this guy. His strength is in jiu-jitsu. And he talked about the whole time, his interviews that I read, his few that he done was about how much better his jiu-jitsu was than mine. And I knew he did have good jiu-jitsu. He trained with a great guy named Sean Hammond that's a really good jiu-jitsu black belt. But I went out there and still got my takedowns and almost got a couple submissions on him. And he wound up giving me his back, and I flattened him out and pounded him out. So I felt like my performance was smart and good.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's always a bit worrying whenever you do get a short notice, let's say, opponent change, because you kind of do sometimes go into the unknown then, and you kind of have to be a little bit more reserved, I suppose, in your performance. You have to just be a little bit more cautious just because of the unknown before you in the fighter.
Yeah.
Now, this fight that you just got the win out of the way, Did you have like a few days off, let yourself recuperate? How were you feeling physically though? You know, did you feel like you were in great shape for it when you got to the latter stages? Did you feel, your conditioning was on point?
It was the third round, and I felt like I felt great. I didn't feel like I was tired. The fight wasn't that grueling of a fight. I controlled him the whole time. The biggest thing that I was worried about is I went up to 180 pounds to fight him. The highest I've ever fought was 170 before, so. Going up to 180 to fight him, I was just, making sure that I was being careful with, just the things I'd done, making sure I didn't gas myself out or being carried around too much weight or, just done questionables that I didn't really know about going up to that weight. So, that was kind of the biggest thing for me. But I felt great, honestly.
Now, your next opponent is Steven Mann. The guy himself is on a 4-fight win streak. When you've got a guy who's on a bit of a little bit of an up and up, so to speak. He's got 4-fight wins. He's got a bit of confidence about him. Does that help you as well then when you're preparing, knowing that you've got a guy who's probably going to have an air of confidence in himself? Rightly so. When anyone's got 4 fights, winning 4 fights in a row, they're going to have the confidence brewing. Does it help you as well when you're training with the focus and stuff?
I'm really focused to fight Steven. First of all, we've trained together probably 20, 30 times in the past, and I smoked him every time in training. Really, all these interviews are just to hype the fight and to make him look a little bit better, but I completely killed him in training. I mean, it was like me, doing with a really new kid and training with a really new guy, and I mean, I'm more killing him in the fight. Like, I'm not really honestly worried too much about what Steven's doing. I just got to go out there and do what I need to do, honestly. So,
because you've trained together, do you feel then that... Because it sounds daft, but if you let's look at the big. If you look at Orlovsky and Brendan Shrub when they fought each other, they fought, and actually Travis Brown. The guys, when people have trained together in the past, sometimes it can almost cancel each other out when you go in because you know what the other person's going to do, so to speak. Do you think that he will have an idea of what you're going to do in the fight, and the same with vice versa with him?
I mean, I guess you could say that, but I mean, he beat a coach named Josh Cate down in Knoxville. That's an older fighter, and he beat my coach Dustin Walden in his previous fight. So I guess that's where his confidence coming from. But I'm just still shocked that he took a fight. I'm not being overly cocky, but when we trained together, like I just told you, it was just me completely doing whatever I wanted, and it wasn't just one aspect. It wasn't like he'd come in and I have really good striking, and he had shitty striking. It's he's supposed to have good jiu-jitsu, but I tied him up in a pretzel 2 or 3 times. And, he's supposed to be a good wrestler, but I take him down as easy as I want to take him down. And he has no striking. My striking's very, very good compared to his. So that's kind of just the whole thing that always is really weird to me about him wanting this fight. And it's really, you know, if he goes out there and he beats me, it's a super, super good win for him, and he's done something he wasn't supposed to do. But, you know, if I beat him, it's supposed to be one of them things where, you know, I'm supposed to beat him.
Now, with that aspect then, do you think that it could be then maybe like a psychological thing for him, wanting to have the fight with yourself? You know, he might feel that it's a psychological battle to get over. He might think, right, I've trained with him, you know, yeah, you may have got the better of him in the training camps, in training together when you do stuff, and he might feel that for him he has to go and get that win over you. Maybe it's something more for him on a personal level. That's something that we maybe don't know about.
No, I don't know. I honestly think it's just more of him, you know, wanting to get out there and beat somebody that he's not supposed to beat, and you know, it makes a big name for him if he beats me. I just feel like, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't understand. I don't know where he thinks that he beats me at. That's my most curious thing. That's what I wish I'd asked him. Really, all it is for Steven is just some bullshit, you know, weight gain, because he's fought the majority of his fights at 155 pounds. He's fought my coach at 155. He's actually supposed to fight my coach at 150 pounds catch weight, just like me and him are doing. But he calls the day before weigh-in saying that he has a doctor's excuse, saying that he can't make below 155 pounds, which is absolutely bullshit and retarded. And it's just the pussy shit that he's doing right now. That pisses me off, like wanting me to come down to 150 pounds to fight him. So I sucked it up. I bit the bullet, and I was like, fuck it, I'll come to 150 pounds and fight him instead of doing 155 pounds.
Well, sometimes psychological wars, guys like to do the psychological battles, you know, like you say the day before, they'll say, oh, I can't do this. It is, some fighters, you know, they won't admit to it, but it's something that they do as part of what they are. They like to have that mental aspect. They like to have a mental battle with other fighters. With Steven, then, you know, look, you're keeping active as well. You know, yeah, your last fight was only recent. You got the Steven fight. You know, I can clearly see in yourself the way you're keeping active. You're wanting to obviously get a couple of good wins because you're wanting to get back on to the bigger cards and the bigger stage, let's say. Is this something that you're just looking to get done as soon as possible?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still with RFA, man. I talk to RFA every day. I'm still with, you know, I'm signing back with them after this fight. I just want to take a couple fights at home, make some money, you know, fight them lesser competition, if you will, and you know, just be at home. I like fighting from my hometown crowd, so that's kind of the thing behind it. I'll be back to RFA after this fight.
I was going to say, well, look, RFA is a fantastic promotion to be with as well. You know, they do put on stellar performance cards, you know, and they're a promotion I think a lot of people look at with respect, you know. So it's, you know, kudos for going back there, you know, and you'll be definitely more than welcomed. And like you say, there is a good standard of matchups when you go to RFA, so you'll be loving that.
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I would be too. Yeah, definitely, man. Look, like I say, it's 150. It's a 150. Do you know what? I like the fact that besides, it doesn't matter who's picking the weight class. I like the idea of fighters maybe pre-agreeing to a weight class that maybe is not what a regular weight class would be, and I think it's something, personally, I don't mind seeing it more often. Maybe guys going, look, instead of doing 170, can we do 175 or 165, etc.?
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm all for catch weights, but when Steven walks around at 180 pounds, he says it all the time, he walks around at 180. I walk around at 185 pounds. You know, he's fought my coach at 155, he's fought everybody else at 155, and now because it's me and he's scared, he wants to bring it to 150 pounds. It's not about anything else for him, it's just about that he thinks he's going to have a little bit of an advantage, making me cut a little bit more weight. It's all it is to him.
Well, if you've got the professionalism that you've shown before, it won't even bother you. The 150, you know, it won't even be a problem cutting down to it.
It's not a problem. No, it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, you know, and a lot of people don't understand it. As long as you are strict with your diet, you know, you make sure you're eating the right food. You're also training. You train right as well, you know, because you can't be. People don't realize that how much you're eating and how much you're training do balance out together. You know, as long as you're getting the right amount of training in as well as what you're eating, you know, you won't deplete yourself too much. It's all about balance, and if you can get those two things right, you know, 150 will be fine for you.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be awesome. I think it's going to be an awesome fight. I think Valor Fights, you know what, I like the promotion themselves. That they're putting up some, you know, fun matchups on the local scene. And like you say, you'll have a huge following, I'm sure, again, when you come to fight. Before I let you shoot off, Adam, how do people jump on social media, man, to follow you, to, you know, join in on your kind of journey back to RFA, and watch some more of your fun, exciting fights, let's say?
Thank you. But yeah, you can follow me at Adam Townsend MMA on Instagram and Twitter. So definitely do that.
Jump online, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what about sponsors? Have you got any sponsors out there helping you out?
Man, you can go to my pages and they're all on there. I don't OEB Law and Highlander Barbecue are two of my biggest ones, so I'll shout them out. All the other ones, you know, are definitely on my pages, and you can check them out. I appreciate all my sponsors and all my fans, definitely. And David Cooper, I'm actually getting a tattoo right now. David Cooper at Timeless Ritual Tattoos is one of my biggest supporters, biggest sponsors that always helps me out, hooks me up with work and everything. Right now, I just got a tattoo of my Nana, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, nice, man, nice. Enjoy that. What about, last but not least, then, give a shout out to where your gym is and how people can if they want to join, if they live in the area and they want to maybe do some training.
Johnson City, Tennessee, the Evil Fight Team. My coaches are Dustin Walden and Caleb Cupp. Also, Ian Boxhorn and my jiu-jitsu coach is Casey Oxenstein, one of the best black belts there are around here. And, of course, I want to thank Tim Boy and Valor Fights for letting me fight locally again and come back to the local scene. So I appreciate that, too.
Look, Adam, it's going to be a hell of a card. You know, the atmosphere is going to be great. That it's Fight for Autism. It's a beautiful thing what they're doing. You know, I enjoy when kind of not just promotions, but when events happen where they're doing a little bit on the side, so to speak, with raising awareness for anything. Have a great fight. Have a great card, man. It's going to be awesome, and I hope a lot of money is raised, and I hope a lot of people put their hands in their pockets and do little bits and do what they can. And like I said, Adam, great talking to you, and have a great time.
Thanks again, brother. I appreciate it, man.